Everybody, welcome to tonight's live stream. Let us know in the comments where you're listening from. Hope you enjoy the music. This first tune is called Fireflies. All right. It is certainly great to be back with another live stream. It's been about 3 months since I last streamed, believe it or not. And in that time, my son was born. So my wife and I are very, very thrilled about that. It's an amazing feeling. He was born just a few weeks ago. And he and Genevieve are both doing really well. So thank you so much for all the comments and messages that I've received from people sending congratulations. And I really appreciate that. We've settled into a good groove now, so I'm hoping to keep the live streams going. And I really enjoy this amazing technology where I can be here in my studio and you can listen from your home. I'm in Montana, for those of you who don't know, and it's quite cold out there. It's about 18 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it was minus 11 Celsius today, something like that. And we got quite a bit of snow, so it's all happening. I'd like to play a song right now by Gordon Lightfoot, who's a great Canadian singer-songwriter who passed away a few months back. This tune is called Shadows. Let me check a few of these comments here. Congratulations, we missed you. Thanks, Joel. Congratulations, Joe. I hope you're getting some sleep now. Enjoy every minute. They grow up way too fast. They sure do, even in just a few weeks. It's pretty remarkable. I first heard this song on a Tony Rice album. And, yeah, it's just a beautiful piece of music. Let me know if you can hear everything okay. Won't you reach out, love, and touch me? Let me hold you for a while. I've been all around this world, and still I long to see you smile. There's a shadow on the moon, and the waters here below do not shine the way they should. And I love you just in case you didn't know. Let it go. Let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Won't you lie down by me, baby? Run your fingers through my hands. I've been all around this town and still I do not understand. Is it me or is it you? Or the shadow of a dream? Is it wrong to be in love? Could it be the finest love I've ever seen? Set it free. Let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Please kiss me gently, darling, while the river runs away. In the mountains in the springtime, on a blue and windy day, where there's beauty all around, and the shades of night grow deep, where the morning stars grow dim, there we'll find us in the shadows fast asleep. Let it go. Let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. There we have it. Well, let me know in the comments if you have any requests. I can't guarantee I'll play them, but if I see the comment and the timing is right, and I feel like doing a song, I might just do it. For those of you who are new here, I have this virtual tip jar. It's actually, there's not that very much virtual about it. It's pretty real. You just go to joerobinson.com/tipjar, and if you choose to leave a tip, I very much appreciate that, but it's certainly not required for admission to the show. But if you'd like to buy what is basically like a ticket, you can do so if you choose. Let me just check the tuning of this Telecaster here. Guitar sounds pretty darn good, I think. Here we go. This is Misty. was Misty. See some nice comments coming in. Let me see if I can get my comment machine to work. Well, I can't scroll back through the comments, but I did see a comment from Kevin Piles, I believe, who requested Summer Over the Rainbow in memory of his wife who recently passed away. So I'm so sorry to hear that, Kevin. Condolences to you, and I'd be honored to play Summer Over the Rainbow. There we go. Just a disclaimer, I did not write that song. Of course, that's Summer of the Rainbow, written by Harold Arlen. And that arrangement I took mostly from Tommy Emmanuel, but I kind of threw in the walking bass thing at the end, which is somewhat my creation, somewhat influenced by an Australian guitarist named Bruce Matisky. And I saw a few comments there. One fellow saying, when are you going to jam with Tommy Emmanuel? And I thought I'd just take a moment to just tell you a little about my background, because I know a lot of you probably just saw a video of me pop up on YouTube or Facebook and maybe subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, or followed me on Facebook, and you'll get recommended more videos when you do that. And maybe you like the way I play and can obviously hear the influences such as Tommy Emmanuel and Chet Atkins and such. I grew up in Australia. I was born in 1991, and I started playing piano when I was about 6, and I didn't like the piano. So I begged my parents, please, can I play the guitar? And my mother said, well, if you're going to quit the piano, then if you're going to play the guitar, then you better practice. Otherwise, you'll be straight back to the piano. So my motivation for playing the guitar was so I didn't have to do any piano practice. And I took to the guitar. I really took to the guitar. I really enjoyed it. I liked that I could carry it wherever I wanted. I could walk up the back of the paddock. We lived out on basically a family farm, and it was pretty rustic. We got hot water in 2001. It was a little farmhouse with a corrugated tin roof, concrete floor. It was just real basic. I kind of grew up like the way people did in this country, in the US, like quite a few decades ago. Anyway, I got into playing the guitar, and some of my parents' friends were musicians, and I sat down with one of them, a fellow named Brett Jones in Kempsey, which is in New South Wales, which is near where I grew up. And he showed me how to use a thumb pick. He said, Joe, if you do this pattern, and then play something like this. And he kind of showed me how to play the Chet Atkins style guitar. And so I learned that, and then I learned Freight Train, I learned Windy and Warm, and I learned a lot of those songs from him. And it was really cool because he was a boxing champion back in the day. So he'd show me a few guitar licks, and then he'd take me around the back and show me a few combinations on the punching bag. And when I was 11 years old, I was already playing in my own band. I shouldn't say it's my own band. I was a member of a band of kids my age, and we were called the Chaotic Penguins, and we played songs like Evil Ways, Black Magic Woman, All Along the Watchtower, basically classic rock and like 60s, 70s songs with guitar solos, because I was real into playing guitar solos back then. And a local musician named Chris Haig heard me play, and Chris Haig is a bass player, a wonderful bass player. And he said, Joe, you should hook up with Tommy and Phil Emmanuel, because you'll hear them and you'll just be so inspired. And he said, you should especially connect with Phil, because Phil plays around these parts sometimes, and maybe you can go and hear him play, because Tommy was over in the US at that time. So he gave me Phil's phone number, and I happened to get a gig playing at a country music festival called the Tamworth Country Music Festival, like later that year, and Phil and Tommy were scheduled to play at that festival. So I called up Phil, and Phil was just so friendly. He was like, oh yeah, come on down. It's a great time at Tamworth. Come and say hi, play me a song, and I'll show you a couple of Jerry Reed licks or something. So anyway, I sat down with Phil and I played him Strut by Jerry Reed. I really loved walking bass songs with the bass goes like this. Songs that have a swing groove to them. My mum was a dancer in a tap dancing group, and they danced to a lot of swing music, so I really loved swing music. And Phil said to me, he said, "Joe, that's so great you're playing Jerry Reed and Eric Johnson songs." He said, "Most kids your age are listening to some Limp Bizkit crap." And he really encouraged and inspired me and invited me to perform with him. We played Europa and maybe Guitar Boogie and a few songs like that at his gig. And I was like, 11 years old playing along with him. And then he said, "Hey, you should come and see Tommy and I play." And so I went along and met Tommy and heard he and Phil play together, and it was just wonderful, so inspiring, and I was so uncomfortable because I was experiencing so many things on the guitar that I felt like I didn't know how to do. And so I was like, I got to figure out how to do all those things. There's so many things to figure out. And anyone who's watched Tommy live in concert, you would know that feeling. And seeing Tommy and Phil together was a real experience, because Phil was a phenomenal electric player. He passed away about 3 years ago now. And just an amazing performer. And hearing he and Tommy together was so special, because they had a duo going since they were like 4 years old and 6 years old or something like that. Anyway, I got to know Tommy, and he invited me to play with him here and there. I came over to the US for the first time when I was 15 to play with Tommy and to meet some other people who were in Nashville mostly, also LA. And anyway, I started to do more and more shows with Tommy, and over the years I've probably played, 100 gigs or so with him. We've played in all across Europe, all across the US, in Asia, Australia, and he's been the best guitar mentor I could have ever asked for. I really feel like Phil was my first guitar mentor, and as I started to spend more time in the US, I would see more of Tommy. And for those of you who've seen him know that it's just a phenomenal experience to witness his musicianship and stagecraft. And I want you to know that he's such a generous and kind person on stage and off stage, and I really can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me, blazing the trail for not only myself but many guitarists of my generation. And I try to carry on sharing the information on how to play this music, how to play fingerstyle guitar, because it's a beautiful style and a beautiful way to express music. So anyway, I'm going to quit ranting and raving, but there's a little story time for you. I understand your loyalty to making guitars, but have you tried the Martin Super D? I haven't tried the Martin Super D. I really love old Martin guitars. Martin guitars from the 50s and earlier. Those are really breathtaking instruments. Is it true Tommy's not big on theory? Well, he'll say he's not big on theory, but I think he knows more than he lets on. He definitely is just, to me, he has all this knowledge internalized, and I guess you wouldn't call it theory. I mean, if you play like a chord progression, some people might think the 6 minor to the 4 to the 1 to the 5, and I'm not exactly sure what Tommy's thinking, but he knows all those moves, and he's very familiar with how to get around the fretboard, and he has all that knowledge internalized, which I think is the ultimate goal of studying music. Is you don't really want to be thinking about theory or the technical things. You want to be just have an understanding of music, and you can express the songs you want. Have you ever played an emerald guitar? Nope, I have not. Are Gibson flat frets useful? The frets I have on this guitar are halfway between a Gibson and Martin fret. So Martin frets are kind of tall and skinny, and Gibson frets are kind of fat and low. And this fret is tall and fat, so it's just big. But it's different to a jumbo fret. It's got a real nice taper to it. It's a feature of my signature Maton guitar. And if you go to the Maton Guitar website and look at my signature model guitar, it actually has the specific fret model if you want to put it in your guitar. Stan says, have you ever played the McPherson guitars? Yes, I have a McPherson back there. They're beautiful guitars. Really, really, really kind of like a grand piano-like sound. Ed Dana says, how do you decide what songs you're going to play? Covers, that is. Oh, well, to tell you the truth, I get a little bit bitter about the social media world, because if I was to post the cover of like the Gordon Lightfoot song, which I really love, it wouldn't get as many views as if I posted a cover of Purple Haze, something like that. So honestly, the way a lot of people with YouTube channels choose what covers to play is, it's like, what do people want to hear? What are people going to click on? You and I have both been guilty of this. You'll see someone do a version of a song that's almost become a cliched guitar song, and you'll be like, okay, I'll click on that. Let's see what they can do. Whereas you don't get the same recommendations for more obscure songs, and people don't click on them as much, so it's mostly like songs that you know are going to reach a new audience. Because to be honest, I play original music. It's really my bread and butter. I have 7 albums of original music. So how many songs is that? It's like 80 songs or something. And you can listen to all those online. And I'm always writing songs. I'll play you a little bit of a new song. I played this for some of my community members the other day. And it's still very much in the infancy stages of me figuring it out. Doesn't have a name yet. There you have it. Spaceship Secret, says Many Vibes. That's a cool name, Spaceship Secret. Yeah, it's funny, like, I know a lot of people, like, won't play new songs until they have them copyrighted and all that, but I was playing that thinking, oh, I wonder if anyone's going to steal this, because I have had a few people, like, copy my songs and then send them to me in an email and say, kind of try to insinuate that they wrote it, when I'm like, no, I wrote that song. It's like exactly what I wrote. You just, like, copied it poorly. And but truth is, if you want to steal that, good luck. Good luck playing it, that is. It's not easy. Dave says, can you talk a little bit about your right hand technique in that song, especially the downward strums with the fingers? Yeah, with my right hand technique, I'm not using the thumb pick for that song. It's just a thumb and then my fingers, and I don't use fingernails. And basically my starting position is index finger on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 2nd string, and then ring finger on the 1st string. So that's my kind of position. And I do a lot of this kind of move. Like just brushing up the strings, because if I played without that, it would be... Whereas, as opposed to, it's not the best example, but I do a lot of that kind of brushing motion, I should say. And as opposed to, in terms of the strumming, I kind of have a way of playing like just a way of, it's almost playing the guitar like a drum. It's just a very gentle, soft strum. And it's kind of like the thumb is going like that, and the fingers just do a quick little strum like that. It's like the flamenco thing where they go like that. And I just put a little bit of that strumming in the song to give it a bit of movement and flow. But really what I'm thinking about when I play a song is I'm thinking about the melody and I'm thinking about the bass line, because the bass kind of provides the foundation and the context for the harmony, and then the melody tells the story. So in this case, I have a melody, and the first time around, the bass goes so. The second time around, the bass goes. So that's what I'm thinking about. Hope that makes sense. If you want to learn to play fingerstyle guitar like me, I have a best-selling series of courses. It's called Complete Fingerstyle Guitar, and it's on my teaching platform called invisibletechnique.com. And I have a few courses on there. My beginner, intermediate, and advanced fingerstyle series is what I would recommend if you want to learn to play like that. I also have a course called Daily Exercises, which feature a bunch of warm-ups that I've done every day for 15 years or so. Not every single day, but regularly for pretty much my whole playing journey. And I credit them for my my left-hand technique as well as my right-hand technique. And that course is called Daily Exercises. So do check that out if you'd like. Ed says, I think about blue notes. I blew that note. Can you talk about how you improvise the solos? Which scale and modes do you mostly use for finger picking? Definitely. So I think that the major scale is very underutilized. Well, I mean, most players that you listen to are playing like the major scale, but people try to get really complicated and learn all kinds of modes and things. But I think it all starts from the major scale. So let's say we're going to play Freight Train. Well, that's not a good example. Let's say we're playing a chord progression that's in C. So I recommend learning the C major scale all over the neck. So you learn it just till you're blue in the face. So you want to learn the C major scale on every single fret on the guitar. Practice it on one string. Practice it on two strings. I have lessons for all this. Most of it is in my coaching community, which is not going to be open until next year, but I'm thinking of creating an improvising course because there's so much information out there that I feel just is just a really confusing way to explain it. So I'll do a little demonstration here of some improvising and talk about how I recommend practicing improvising. So here's a chord progression. Whoops. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to play just the C major scale. I'll play some solos just on the B string. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play straight eighth notes, which is a great way to practice a scale. Just straight eighth notes, C major, over those chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll play double stops. there's 3 ways to practice playing some solos. 1 string at a time, a constant rhythm, so it could be constant quarter notes or constant eighth notes, double stops, which is just 2 notes at a time. Those are 3 ways to improvise. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much of that because I know not everyone here is going to want a guitar lesson in this. But yeah, I do have a lot of information out there online, and yeah, I hope that was helpful to the person who asked the question. Of course, there are other great scales too, like for playing the blues. I have a video called, I think, 5 must-know blues scales. And, yeah, we talked about going from the pentatonic to the blues scale to the mixolydian mode to the bebop dominant scale. That might sound a little like this. Okay, so here's the pentatonic scale. Here's the blues scale. Here's the mixolydian mode. Here's the bebop dominant. Something like that. Here's a metronome. Something like that. Anyway, I probably should come up with a song to play. He can play that thing better than he can talk. Yeah. I never said I was the world's greatest talker. Ah, yes, the internet and all the random people on there. On one hand, I'm so grateful for the internet, but on the other hand, there's just so much crap. So, every day on Facebook especially, there's just like these trolls and robots and all kinds of garbage. And yeah, I always think it's nice when people use their real name. Joe Robinson, you're also one of the ones missing out on the Rolling Stones list. Oh God, wasn't that a joke? Alright, here's a bit of a tune that I wrote. It's called Byron's Bounce. 1, 2, 3. Bam, there we go. All right. People are saying I need to dumb it down a lot. Yeah, well, the thing about breaking something down into real simple chunks is it takes a lot of patience and care, and for that you're gonna have to go to one of the specific videos that I created for what you're trying to learn, because this is a concert. There you go. All right, here's a song called Winds of Change from my album The Prize. I've been waiting for the winds of change to calm the seas these troubled times. I've been waiting for the storms to pass, the clouds to clear, so the sun can shine. I can feel it, the winds of change blowing up against my skin. I can feel it, the winds of change, just by holding out my hand. I can taste it, the winds of change, when the tears of joy fall down. I feel it all around, the winds of change. I've been waiting for the tides to turn and waves of hope to wash every stone. I've been waiting for the day to come. We can see the light and find out we're home. I can feel it, the winds of change blowing up against my skin. I can touch it, the winds of change, just by holding out my hand. I can taste it, the winds of change, when the tears of joy fall down, and feel it all around, the winds of change. There we go, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the music. I have a virtual tip jar set up if you'd like to contribute by what is essentially a ticket to the show. joerobinson.com/tipjar is where you can find that. And I have a teaching website called invisibletechnique.com where you can find my courses if you want to learn to play like me, where I break everything down into very, very manageable and easy to follow bite-sized chunks. When I make YouTube videos with easy to follow, managed bite-sized chunks, it's not going to perform as well as fancy videos, which is good. Just I like playing fancy music. Hope you enjoy that. Take it easy. See you all again real soon.